Good morning. Welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara DeFalco.
And I'm Lisa Marie Falvo. Let's check in with meteorologist Mike Favetta on your windy New Jersey weather forecast.
A very good morning to you both. Yes, incredibly windy this morning. Some big gusts. Sounded like the house was going through a car wash at 7 a.m. It was a really rough stuff to start our Friday. But the afternoon brings back a little bit of a cool down throughout the rest of the day. In fact, it gets so chilly, we could see temperatures slide back into the 30s, as they're already doing so right now across northern parts of the state. Throughout the rest of the day, temperatures slide. They keep going down through the 40s and even into the overnight hours, dipping down into the 20s. So it will be another round of very cold air that moves in across New Jersey. This is something that we started out with earlier in the morning, and we continue this slide as the winds will shift from the north and west through the rest of the day. Our weather headlines start off with temperatures dropping through the course of the afternoon, and with that, there might even be a few snow squalls, a flake or a flurry passing through by tomorrow afternoon. Then we get another round of warm air. That comes in with some rain by Tuesday and Wednesday, only to be followed by another round of cold air by the end of next week. So the flip-flop weather continues. One day it's freezing, the next day it's up near 70 degrees, and we'll talk about some record temperatures coming up in just a bit that we enjoyed yesterday. As far as today, though, it'll feel, well, more like February should. Our highs climbing into the 40s and rebounding maybe into the low 50s there toward Howell and Lacey Township. Anticipate those clearing skies with lots of sun to finish out the afternoon, but again, a windy finish to the day. We'll let you know just how warm it got yesterday with a new temperature record over in Newark Airport, and talk about the next few days coming up with the weekend weather. All those details and more in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Mike.
I'll tell you, I can already, the allergies are kicking in. It's
everything.
It's rough. It's rough already. All right, Mike, thank you. So, you know what, Lise? I think everybody in Jersey stopped dead in their tracks on Sunday when that Sopranos theme came on during the Super Bowl. It was a commercial for a Chevy electric truck. The commercial features Meadow, played by Jamie Lynn Sigler, and AJ, played by Robert Eiler, from The Sopranos, featured scenes from our state, and then it ends at Bar's Landing, which is a seafood restaurant in the Highlands. So joining us live is Jay Cosgrove from Bar's Landing. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning. Good morning.
Jay, you know what? How did the restaurant end up in the Chevy commercial?
Well, we've been in a few commercials before.
You know what, Jay? We're having a little trouble hearing you. Do you mind? You know what? Maybe lower the speakers.
Is it too loud? Is it too loud?
Yeah,
it's just echoing back for us.
Okay.
Repeating.
And repeating.
That's a little bit better.
Speakers on. Let me see. I can do it. I can do it. Hold on. All right, how's that better?
A little bit. You know what?
A little.
That's better.
You know what? Maybe we should move on to the next, and we'll try and get Jay to dial back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to leave you in a little bit more of anticipation. We're going to cut to black on that interview.
Yes, exactly. And everybody can argue over where the remote is.
Well, the New Jersey State Police are looking for some help to identify people wanted for shoplifting. They're looking for 8 people who allegedly stole groceries from the Seaville Acme and Ocean City Acme in Cape May County. Police say on February 1st, 4 men and 4 women entered the Seaville Acme in Upper Township, took groceries totaling over $1,000. So what, they just got a couple steaks at this point?
I was going to say, yes, a few prime ribs, you're good to go.
Exactly. Police say later that night, the same suspects entered the Acme in Ocean City and took groceries totaling over $400. State police say they're driving a white Mazda 3 and a gold Saturn sedan. Anyone with any information is asked to contact State Police Woodbine Station. They say anonymous tips are welcome.
You know, obviously, stealing anything is not a good thing, but I always kind of question when somebody steals groceries.
Yeah.
You're not stealing money. You're not stealing jewelry. Like, what's your life look like that you're stealing groceries?
Yeah.
You know, and you have a little sympathy at least, I think.
Yeah.
Well, in another case, police in Nutley are looking for a guy who they say filled up his shopping cart and walked out of the supermarket with $2,000 in groceries. Police say this happened on February 5th at the ShopRite on Franklin Avenue. The suspect was wearing a black hat, black mask, black vest, gray sweats, and a gray hoodie. Anyone with information is asked to call the Nutley police.
Next, theater is back in New Jersey and stronger than ever. We'll learn what is happening at the American Theater Group in Basking Ridge.
And as always, you can connect with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll keep you updated who's coming up on the show. Be sure to check us out. Click follow.
The American Lung Association invites you to join us outside in 2021 for our Fight for Air Climb events. Now more than ever, we need you in the fight for clean air and healthy lungs. Let's go outside and climb, because every step counts. Visit us at lung.org.
Watch OSDIA interviews live every Sunday night at 8 p.m. and celebrate the best of Italian American culture. Each week, we will feature an exclusive interview with a prominent Italian American from around the country. You can watch OSDIA interviews live on Optimum 61, Verizon 530, or stream live from anywhere on News12.plus. For more on Order Sons and Daughters of Italy in America, visit osaya.org and follow along on social media. Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show.
And we have Jay Cosgrove back with us. So he is the owner of Bar's Landing, which is a seafood restaurant. And it was featured in that Chevy electric truck commercial that we all stopped dead in our tracks for during the Super Bowl. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning.
Oh, you sound so much better now.
Okay, good. AirPods.
So yeah, hey,
Take two.
that'll do it. That'll do it. So Jay, tell us, what must that have been like? Did you just get a call and they said we want to feature your restaurant? How did the restaurant end up in the commercial?
Okay, we had a location scout about middle of January stop in and walked me around and said, we might want to use your commercial, your place for a commercial for GM, one of the new cars coming out. And I walked him around and he said, okay, if we need it, we're going to need it next Friday and we're going to need your whole place, your whole parking lot, and you're going to need to close your restaurant down for the day. I'm like, okay, I don't know about that. It's a Friday. Can you move it up? But he wasn't sure. He said, I'll get back to you. So he gets back to us a couple days later and he said, it's a go. And he couldn't tell me what kind of car it was for, but I sort of guessed it. And, the next day they announced at the car show in Detroit that they have a new EV truck coming out and it's so exciting and all this. So it was a go and we worked it out. And they came on that Friday. We didn't close for the day. We just made our customers come in the back door.
Oh, good. All right. Well, at least there was a happy compromise.
Yeah.
But did they tell you that it was going to be kind of a Sopranos reunion?
They did not.
Oh.
They did not. It was a total surprise when they wasn't 100% surprised because they have filmed here. David Chase has filmed here before 2 years ago for his movie, Many Saints of Newark, which we had a few seconds of outside shots and inside shots in that one as well, but nothing like this.
Yeah. I mean, what a thrill to see your restaurant on TV during the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I still can't wrap my head around it. It's been quite a week, I'll say.
So, Jay, were you able to meet, you said you probably have met David Chase in the past from other work he's done there. Were you able to meet Jamie Lynn Sigler and Robert Eiler?
Briefly, just to kind of hi. They were outside most of the time or in one of their trailers, which you can see right now across the parking lot. When they came in, we didn't really know. Nobody really said anything. They said, what's going on? Oh. One of my waiters noticed it and he was starstruck. His name's Costas. He goes, you know who's here? I'm like, who? He goes, Jamie Lynn Sigler. I just walked right into her. She's from, I'm like, so we all of a sudden I had to go to the main guy. His name is Michael. He's the location scout. I said, what's going on? Because in the beginning they were just on the bridge going back and forth. They weren't really setting all this up. And then once the day went on, more and more things started happening. And so they came in to warm up, and they actually came into our downstairs room to have lunch. And then they set up to do an interview, which I guess you could see kind of like on the backstory part of it. David Chase got interviewed, and both actors got interviewed. It's pretty interesting.
So you said that it's been a wild week for you since this commercial aired. Tell us about the reaction from customers and media and the community.
Well, the community, it's interesting. The community is just proud. It's like local Highlands. We're right here on the North Jersey coast, right? We're not next to, some Sandy Hook is our main attraction down here. We have the Twin Lights up on the hill. So we have a lot of things to be proud of. And then when this hit, people are just giving us congratulations and, just we're proud. Telling us of their reaction, what it was like at their house or wherever they were when they saw the commercial, and how everyone stood up and yelled and screamed and high-fived and all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty similar all the way around, and everyone was pretty excited, especially not only for people locally, but people that used to live in New Jersey that live all over the country now.
Yeah. So Jay, tell us, you guys have been operating for over 100 years. For anybody who hasn't been to the restaurant, tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, well, we're a traditional seafood restaurant, right, on the North Jersey coast, overlooking the river and the ocean. My mother's grandparents started it in 1917. Wow. We have a marina, we have a bait and tackle shop, we have dock and dine, we have inside dining, outside dining. We're open 7 days a week, all year long. We're famous for lobsters and our clam chowder. And, I've been running, I guess I'm the fourth generation with my father and my wife. And, we're just keeping the place going. And it's kind of fun place to work, especially when this happens.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're going to get visited now. They have all those Sopranos tours where you can go to the pizza shop and where Satriel. So you're part of that now. You have to be after this commercial.
I don't see how we couldn't be, right? And believe me, we'll have plenty of clam chowder for the tour bus when they get here.
I love it. Jay, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We hope you have a great weekend, and thanks for sharing your story with us. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah, hope to see you guys down here sometime. We'll give you the tour.
Yes,
for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
That commercial was so well done. First of all, as an avid Sopranos fan, Meadow was always going to be the one to take over for her father.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not AJ. AJ was kind of shot. But Meadow had, the shark mentality that the father had. So it just fit.
Yeah. Oh, it really, and like you said, it's just those first few notes of that theme song, and literally everybody, if you were chit-chatting or eating you just stopped and put your attention on there. At least if you're from Jersey. And you could see even the social media feeds, as soon as that commercial aired, everything Jersey related blew up.
And that won the Super Bowl commercial.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Sweepstakes. I mean, they're actually, I have to say, the commercials this year were amazing across the board.
That one just really was the standout.
That one, of course. But there was one with Larry David.
Yes.
That was very funny with the crypto and a lot of celebrity cameos. I feel like it was A-list after A-list in all these commercials. I know, I guess all these creatives had a lot of downtime.
They had some downtime
to think of new ideas, but very well done. Obviously, this was number one.
Of course. Who has no downtime is meteorologist Mike Favetta,
Definitely
because the weather will not give us a break.
It doesn't stop.
I was going to say this. I'm not, actually, Lisa and I were talking about roller coasters this morning, but this is not the ride I enjoy.
No, certainly not.
It is 70 degrees in February. I kind of enjoy that.
I'm like, I just wanted to move slowly in the right direction consistently. 70s to 30s is not enjoyable.
No, it's a shock to the system, especially when we talk about some snow that's on the way for tomorrow. Had some thunderstorm warnings this morning. That's something you'd find in May or June, not necessarily a few days after Valentine's Day, in the middle of February. So here we go, starting off today, back to another round of cold. Yet yesterday, we had a record high of 69 degrees. Broke the old record from 76 at at 66 degrees. In Newark, that was pretty remarkable. Now, in other parts of New Jersey, it felt even warmer, especially back out toward the west, where you approached 70. Very, very pleasant across the state. Today, though, not so much with those gusty winds. We'll have those gusts lingering through the rest of the midday. It's still breezy this afternoon, but I think going forward, anticipate another round of cool air that takes over for the rest of this afternoon. Now, as far as the next few days, there is a cooler trend. So this is beyond the 7-day forecast, and this is from the Climate Prediction Center. Basically, it shows that big swath of blue across most of the East Coast, that we may have some cooler than average temperatures going forward, or at least a better than average chance of cooler temperatures throughout the rest of the month. So we wrap up the month of February cooler than average. However, this may only mean a degree or two below average. So we're not talking frigid weather, but I think it does stay a little bit cool throughout the rest of the month. Beyond that, the weekend turns cold. Our forecast highs for today climb, really creep back into the upper 40s and low 50s. But tomorrow, with those snow squalls, only the mid 40s, and then 30s as a high for Sunday. Much, much colder as we wrap up the weekend. Back to work and school next week. Actually, President's Day on Monday. Many have the day off, enjoying that. Well, we'll be back into the 50s with mostly sunny skies. And there is another mild round of weather ahead before temperatures come crashing down again. We'll tell you all about that coming up with the 7-day forecast, that in just a few minutes.
All right, Mike. Thank you so much.
You bet.
With the seasons changing soon, very soon, right? With all the roller coasters we just talked about. Yeah. So many people are looking to get out of the house for all kinds of entertainment. COVID put theater on a pause for a while, but the American theater group based in Basking Ridge is back in full swing. Here to tell us all about its upcoming Drama Fest is producing artistic director Jim Villegas. I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
That's what it is. Jim Villegas. How are you?
Villegas.
Question though. Now you think Soprano is? You think Meadow is going to take over for Tony Soprano? Huh?
Of his two children, why? You think differently?
No, I never thought of that. That's something I'm going to mull over for the rest of the day. You ruined the rest of my day. Hi. Yes, American Theater Group. We are in Basking Ridge at the Wisniewski Theater. We're delighted to be there. And we have a Drama Fest, which we've been doing since 2012. It's a statewide Drama Fest. And it is probably my favorite part of everything we do at American Theater Group. We invite students from all throughout the state of New Jersey, high school students, to come. Some of them will do an excerpt of their high school play or musical, and then they get feedback from Broadway professionals. They also get to have workshops with Broadway pros and on things like improvisational theater, stage combat, how to audition, how to perform a song, not just how to sing a song, but how to perform a song. And they're being taught by people that do this for a living, that go on Broadway week after week, day after day. And we're excited to announce that this year, because of a generous grant from our friends at Investors Bank, the festival is free. Drama Fest is free for all students.
Wow.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. And they'll be entitled to come, if they join us at Drama Fest in May, they will be entitled to come to our dress rehearsal for our June production.
Nice. So, Jim, how can an interested student sign up for Drama Fest? Especially because you said it was free for them. I think a lot of people are going to try to jump on that now.
Right. Well, it's they have to sign up through their school, so they should get in touch with their drama teacher. We send out letters to every drama teacher throughout the state to let them know about the festival. So they have to come through their school, and each school sends. We're going to try to admit as many students as possible, as many schools as possible. So if a student is interested, tell him or her to get in touch with their drama teacher and encourage the school to come and join us.
I love it. How did the American Theater Group come up with the idea for this program?
That's a good question. Part of our mission at American Theater Group is not just to produce new shows, but to nurture audiences and artists of tomorrow. So what we do with Drama Fest is encapsulate both of those efforts. We want kids to get excited about theater. We don't particularly care if they grow up to be actors or writers, but we want them to know that theater is an option for their future. If not as an artist, then as an audience member. And I've got to tell you, one of the Drama Fests was so exciting. We took a break 5 to 5, and the students had to be back at 7. And we had arranged for a local restaurant to feed them. So one of the moderators, one of the Broadway pros said, all right, we have 5 more minutes. I want you all to get up and go talk to a student at another school, not somebody you know. So the kids got up and they started mingling. And at 5 after 5, we said, all right, guys, you got to get to the restaurant. Nobody left. They kept talking to each other. Then 10 minutes later, about a half hour later, we finally said, guys, you have to leave. So they left. They came back. We did the show that night. And the students got to see the show that night. The end of the show, the cast came out into the lobby where the kids were waiting for their buses. Kids wouldn't leave the lobby. The teachers were trying to get them back on the buses. They would not leave. They wanted to talk to each other from other schools. They wanted to talk to the artists. 2 teachers that evening separately came up to me, one crying and just with one eye's misty, saying, we've never had a day like this for our students before.
Aww.
So we're really excited, and we hope to we know we're going to have a full house, especially now that it's going to be free. So if you're interested, please contact us at AmericanTheaterGroup.org. That's our website. Get in touch with us, and we'd love to have your students join us.
Awesome. Jim, really fast, can you tell us, because you mentioned that American Theater Group is doing a performance in June. Can you tell us about some of your upcoming performances?
Sure. Well, we're doing readings this March. We had a full production scheduled for this March, but with the COVID, so we decided to postpone that. We're going to be doing that in the fall. So this March, we're going to be doing readings, actually starting February 28th, I believe it is, Monday night readings of new plays. Again, we try to do new works or undiscovered, neglected classics. One of the readings we're going to do is The Bad Seed, which is a classic back in the 50s. But we have a slightly different slant as to the way we're going to do it. So we're excited about that. And then in June, we're doing a production called All Over the Map by a noted performer, Bill Bowers, who's been on Broadway, and he's going to talk about what it's like touring as a performer throughout the world. So stay tuned. We're going to have some exciting theater at American Theater Group.
Very nice. Jim Bias, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Hope you've had a fantastic weekend and break a leg.
Right. Thanks, guys. Take care. Be well.
Thanks, Jim. Such good things happening.
It's so good to hear, and you just, it's exciting. It really is just exciting.
It's not exciting. What we're
Our next
talk
topic.
about next. Our next topic. Not. And for the math illiterate.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why we have the professionals that we're about to talk to.
Yes.
So with a soaring inflation and prices rising, it's easier than ever to rack up credit card and other debt. For some, it can become overwhelming and out of control, leading to bad credit. Joining us now is Chris Wisniewski, credit expert, author, and the founder of CreditRepairStuff.com. Love that URL. How are you doing, Chris? Chris, can you hear us? Okay.
Looks like we can't. Chris is not hearing us.
Chris is not hearing us, and he looks frozen.
Yes.
Okay, we'll take him off then. And yeah, well, you know what we're in right now. So there's Mercury Retrograde.
I was going to say you can't blame it on Mercury Retrograde anymore.
No, we can, because we're in the shadow. So I just learned about this. So there's Mercury Retrograde, but as it, I guess, goes back to normal, there's a shadow from the insanity. So we're in that shadow until the 23rd.
Lisa does tech better than I do, but she also does this kind of stuff better than I do. And you're really convinced that this is what this is, huh?
Joe and I, we have we actually sat, because Mercury Retrograde really threw us for such a loop. We have it on our calendars, when the shadow periods. So we know to just stay home.
It's just not going to work. All right. Our director says we have Chris back. So let's see if we can get Chris back on.
I wonder if Chris knows about this stuff.
And what it has to do with your credit repair.
Yes. CreditRepairStuff.com. Best URL ever. How are you doing, Chris? Oh, see, it's the shadow.
She's really convinced. So Chris can hear us now, but we can't hear him. We will get it all together, though.
We will. I guess we should go to break so we can figure this all out.
Yes, let's do that. We are going to take a little break. We're going to get everything organized and worked out, and then we will be back in just a bit.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
It's me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
Swing the hips.
Oh boy, they weren't kidding.
You're looking for a gold crown?
Sure. So you say you're helping people through. How are you doing that?
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show.
And let's bring in meteorologist Mike Favetta, because it was so far in the last 48 hours, it's been like 65 degrees, then it got real windy, then it was raining, now the temperature is dropping, and then there's going to be snow tomorrow. Did I get it?
And this is not the weather computers going wacky because of that Mercury retrograde. You know, Lisa Marie, I had a student ask me in class the other day if that relates to meteorology. And I'm like, well, no, but I mean, I've been a victim of it too, where you hear that all of the computers stop working and you can't get your technology in order. And then, like you said, you hear this, astro, it's not really science. It's more like astro. Astrology. That's it. Astrology. Yeah.
Astrology, not astronomy.
And so there's a little bit.
Maybe that could be like a pop-up class for you. Meteorology and astrology, and you could have a guest speaker. I mean, not me. I am well read in it, but I'm not an expert. I have experts you can talk to though.
Right. I just think we get kind of burned from it, especially just on an ordinary day. Things don't want to work. Yeah. And yet the weather seems a little broken too. Yeah, you go from 70 yesterday down into the 30s today, windy, wind chills in the 20s. What is going on? But there is a little bit of a milder weekend ahead, and that's good. And we've got President's Day coming up on Monday with a beautiful forecast ahead for the start of next week for the holiday. So we'll get you started with that weekend weather, town by town, anticipating mostly sunny skies throughout this entire weekend, with the exception of a few snow flurries tomorrow afternoon. You see the snow flurry there on all towns across New Jersey, because there will be a quick passing squall that will deliver maybe a few bursts of flurries tomorrow afternoon as the colder air works on down. That will send temperatures into the 40s in Morristown. How about 43 over in Newark tomorrow? 44 in Belmar and Trenton, 43 degrees. So it will stay rather chilly throughout the next few hours, even into tomorrow. But you notice it gets even colder by Sunday, because that burst of snow allows it to turn a little bit chillier still for Sunday afternoon, with temperatures cooling off into the 30s. So where do we warm up? Well, that comes in the 7-day forecast in the form of 50 degrees by Monday. A little bit of a milder breeze taking over. It still starts out in the teens on Sunday morning, the 20s on Monday, but by the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, temperatures are back up in the 60s with a few spring-like showers. Now, that is not to be confused with another round of cold air that comes in immediately following for Thursday and Friday of next week. So still watching some weather, as we're not quite done with February just yet. And this is almost that March lionly roar weather that we typically get in late February, early March, where the weather has these wild swings, sunny and 65 one day, back to the 20s the next. Here we are running about 2 weeks ahead of schedule. So hopefully we can see things calm down in the next few days. But we'll give you another check of things, coming up with a second view of that 7-day forecast, and talk more about beyond that in a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm concerned about something in that 7-day forecast that you talked about at the top of the show. There's a threat for a week from today.
Oh, yes, the snow event. Typically when we see snow events more than 6-7 days away, there's something to keep an eye on, but I wouldn't set it in stone because, it is pretty far. So we're not gonna be concerned about it, and maybe Mercury retrograde thing will fix this whole thing up.
Yeah.
It'll psych it out. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Mike has always told me that anything much past 3 days is really their best, best guess based on the information they have, but not really.
Yeah. Again, you can probably see where a large storm may form 7 days out. But remember, it's a 2,000-mile wide storm, and if it shifts just a few hundred miles, that can make the difference between a beautiful, sunny, 60-degree day or snow like we have today. So plenty of time to wait and watch.
I love it. Thanks, Mike.
You bet.
Okay, well, third time is a charm here.
Yes.
All right, Chris Wisniewski, CreditRepairSucks.com is here to join us to talk about how to improve your credit score. Do we have you?
You got me.
Yay! Thank you, Chris, for hanging in there with us this morning. So what do you tell people who get overwhelmed, not with technology, but with the credit repair process?
I mean, first, it's perfectly normal. I mean, you're dealing with debts that affect you and your family, not just financially, also emotionally. So it could be really stressful. Plus, there's a lot of confusion, on what to do, who to believe. It's definitely overwhelming. I've been in the industry for over 30 years. I could tell you, first, this happens to millions of people. And unfortunately, at one point in our life, most of us will go through this. So I tell them, first, don't panic. Okay. If you're unsure what to do, you could always hire a professional that could assist you with the process, but keep in mind, most of these credit repair companies really can't do anything more for you than you could do on your own.
Mm. So, Chris, is it really possible to fix bad credit? How long does something like that usually take?
Yeah, I mean, it's 100% fixable. It's what I do. Typically, we work with clients that are trying to buy homes. They have credit issues, and we could usually get them, mortgage ready within, let's say 1 to 6 months from working with us. Yeah, fast.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
What is your background, and how did you get into helping people repair their credit so quickly?
To be honest with you, I was probably about 16 years old. I got a job working, passing out flyers. The guy was doing second mortgages and he was doing credit, and he showed me how to do it. So, that's kind of what I've been doing. And I basically learned the whole algorithm and, really how to master it, and also understanding, consumers and their wants and needs too, which, that's a big deal.
Yeah. So, Chris, what's some of your best advice, your best tips, especially, as we enter into tax season? I mean, should folks plan to maybe use a tax refund to pay old debt? What are some good options for them?
Okay, so if they're past doing something, I always recommend them that, tax season is a great time to catch up, get a little bit of the nest egg savings in there. Now, let's just say you're trying to pay off, old collections, old charge-offs. By doing that, I mean, it sounds great, but by doing that, you could actually drop your score in some cases up to 100 points.
Wow.
So it's a little confusion. That's kind of how the algorithm works. Like, let's say you have a collection from 2016 and you pay that off today. Now it's a paid collection in 2022, which will actually drop your score. So you really want to know what you're doing before you do that.
It's funny that you say that, Chris, because you did touch on something that somebody had said to me years ago, really just in conversation in passing, but they did say something along the lines of, when you really start to fully pay off debt, it does in fact drop your credit score, that sometimes you're better off carrying a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, to try to do the right thing that could hurt you, but that's the formula that the credit bureaus have set up. So we want to, watch that. So if you have a new collection, it's now on your credit report, you definitely want to pay that. But if it's on your credit report, it's sitting there for 4, 5, 6 years, you're probably best just to leave it alone.
Wow.
Tell us what is so different about your business, Credit Repair Sucks, versus other credit repair companies besides the amazing name.
I was going to say me too,
Yeah.
Most credit repair companies, all they do is they send out the same dispute letter. And in the industry, it's basically just dispute everything. If that was the way it really worked, everybody would have excellent credit scores. Okay. It'd be easy to fix that. Everybody's situation is a little bit different. So what I do is I kind of look at it as an individual and, say, okay, this is what's going on in your life. This is what's going on in your credit. And these are the steps that we have to do to get it together. So some of it's experience and some of it's also understanding the consumer. in their wants and needs.
Great. Well, Chris, thank you so much. CreditRepairSucks.com. Make sure to check him out if you are in that bind. Thank you so much. And we're so happy that we got everything working so we could have had this conversation.
You got it. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too.
Okay.
So the son of Yankee legend CC Sabathia and Bergen Catholic baseball star Karsten Sabathia announced his college commitment yesterday. He'll be heading on to Georgia Tech. Congratulations to him.
Mm-hmm.
And now that the Super Bowl is over, it's time to turn our attention here to the locals. Joining us now is Anthony Paradiso from Jersey Sporting News. Tony Paradise, how you doing?
I'm great. Lisa Marie and Kara, thanks for having me on again.
So before we go to the locals, let's quickly get your take on the result from Sunday. I had picked the Rams. I was proven correct. Thank you very much. I didn't do that a lot this season, though. I was very off with everything, but I got that right. But what are your thoughts?
It was a great game. It turned out to be a great game. Started out a bit slow, but we had the photo finish there with the Los Angeles Rams passing their way to Super Bowl victory. A nice little dink pass out to Cooper Kupp, who became the MVP of the Super Bowl for having 2 touchdowns and about 92 yards and 8 catches. He had a great game. I thought Matthew Stafford might have warranted getting the MVP, but Kupp was certainly a little bit better. So it was a very good game.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's had a season like him at the position in a very long time. But you know who was, and we'll switch gears in just a second, but who was poised to actually get the MVP based on the first quarter or so was Odell Beckham Jr. Before his injury. He had a touchdown, and I was rooting for him. What a Cinderella story that would have been. Yeah. And then his knee unfortunately gave out. But, you know, great ending for the Rams, and congratulations to them.
Yeah, now Odell has a Super Bowl. I mean, we wished he would have done it with the Giants, but he got it done finally.
Yeah. So in another sign of spring, it's hard to believe that next week the Red Bulls kick off, no pun intended, their season. What can we expect from the team?
All right. Well, I'm glad we got to this. This is a team I've been covering for about 3 years. And, you know, this year is a big year for head coach Gerhard Struber, entering his second season in charge. They had a strong finish to last season, making the playoffs just barely on the last day of the season. And this year, the fans are looking for more, okay? We're going to have Aaron Long back, healthy. He's one of the leaders, the center back on defense. The team is also going to have back Tom Edwards, a defensive player, and Caden Clark, the midfield sensation who's about 19 years old, who always has an exciting trick or two up his sleeve. So also the team just made a signing recently. They brought in a Brazilian attacking midfielder named Luquinhas. And we're hoping, the fans are hoping, that the Red Bulls are going to have a more potent offensive attack this season when things kick off on the 26th in Southern California.
Good stuff. So, Anthony, I know Rutgers, turning into the college sports, Rutgers upset number 12 ranked Illinois for a historic 4th win against a ranked team. They are the first unranked team to do so. How does this impact their tournament chances?
Well, that's a good question. That's the question that we're looking at. Is right now Rutgers is still not in the AP's top 25 rankings. So they're not getting the love I think they deserve at this juncture. But again, this streak has propelled them from being out of the question for the NCAA tournament, to being into it. So now they have to finish strong. They have about 4 or 5 games left. The next game is against Purdue, who is a very tough 5th-ranked team who Rutgers defeated in December 70-68 on the backs of 30 points from Ron Harper Jr., one of their senior leaders. Ron Harper, in the last game against Illinois, suffered a hand injury, had to leave the game towards the end of the game. Reports are right now that it's to his non-shooting hand, so that's good news for Rutgers going forward, but it's uncertain whether Harper will be available. So.
Oh, man. I was just with a friend from Rutgers last night, and we were saying how much we would like to go back to the rack and watch a Rutgers basketball game.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. You know, I've been kind of staying away because of COVID, but I might just end up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's exciting. The game against Illinois, they certainly had a big home field advantage or home court advantage in that game. So if they could keep that up, it's good news for them. They're going to have to really run the table to really just get through there and get into the tournament. So it's interesting.
We would love to see them there for sure. So, Anthony, turning to Seton Hall and to ladies basketball, it's Seton Hall women's team is also making some news. Lauren Park Lane was added to the Division I honor roll for the 7th time this season. Tell us about that standout point guard.
Yes, the junior from Wilmington, Delaware, has been playing very good for Seton Hall women's basketball, Seton Hall University women's basketball. And she just had 33 points in a win over Villanova, 70-62 for Seton Hall. She's on fire. I mean, this is incredible. 7 appearances on the honor roll. That's like, a Yankees outfielder getting 7 player of the weeks, in a course of 2 or 3 months. So wow. It's really an incredible form that she's in. And, every team needs like somebody who could score, right? And, she's really leading the way. Now it's about, maybe 2 of her teammates who are from New Jersey, Danielle Robinson and Abby Bembry. So we'll see if they can step things up as well and give the Garden State some pride.
Love it. Thank you so much for visiting us, Anthony. And please visit jerseysportingnews.com for all Garden State sports.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Thanks, Anthony. Have a great weekend.
You too.
I love to hear about our local kids and our local teams doing well.
I feel like Garden State, collegiate sports don't get the respect around the country that we deserve.
No.
I feel like we're always like scrapping, like we're never on like a top 25 list or,
But we've got the talent.
Of course we do.
We're
New Jersey.
We got to just keep them in the state. We got to keep them in the state.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. They get wooed.
Yeah, exactly.
By, these other
I get it.
lesser than.
You know who's staying in state? These little cutie pies. Check these out. So this is down at the Cape May County Zoo. These are capybaras. One of the mama gave birth to 2 pups last week. So those babies are only 4 pounds, but they're going to grow to over 100 pounds. Capybaras are the world's largest rodent. The pups are off exhibit. They're in the capybara barn with their mama, but they will go out and explore once the weather warms up a little bit. I kind of love these stories. They're
very cute.
They're cute. They're big.
Yeah, they're cute for rodents. I mean,
this is the size
like
of
the
a
mother
dog.
is cute.
Not even a small dog. That is a large animal.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Stick with us. We got a lot more coming up.
Yes, lot more laughs. And please connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll keep you updated on who is going to be on the show and so much more. Be sure to check us out and click follow.
The American Lung Association invites you to join us outside in 2021 for our Fight for Air Climb events. Now more than ever, we need you in the fight for clean air and healthy lungs. Let's go outside and climb, because every step counts. Visit us at lung.org.
Swing the hips.
Oh boy, they weren't kidding.
You're looking for a gold crown.
Sure. So you say you're helping people through. How are you doing that?
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show.
Bridgewater postponed the town hall meeting scheduled for Wednesday night regarding the police incident at Bridgewater Commons. Citing the volume and nature of calls they've received, they did not believe they can keep the public safe. Meanwhile, Somerset County's Commissioner Director released a video statement saying that while she finds the incident disturbing,
I am heartbroken by the video that shows an African-American teenager being handcuffed by police while the other teenager is being treated as the victim. I spoke with Governor Murphy and Attorney General Platkin today, And we all agree that the video of the incident at the Bridgewater Mall is upsetting and that there must be a full investigation to uncover all the facts and deliver accountability.
Yeah, what a crazy story. The commissioner director says she's sure the prosecutor's office will find answers and is convinced the community will be able to rise to the challenge.
Yeah, that's been a wild story that I've been following as well, and I understand why they canceled the town hall, because even just in the comments, I mean, people are understandably upset, but I could see where the mayor was like, I don't have the staff to keep everybody safe for the people who are going to turn out for this.
Oh, people would have flown in to protest at that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's been wild. All right, let's take a look at some of the other headlines from around the state this morning. The Randolph Board of Education taking criticism after cutting Rosh Hashanah down to a single day. Opponents say it's the equivalent of giving a half day off for Christmas. And the Archdiocese of Newark is following Governor Murphy's lead, announcing that masks will be optional for students and staff in their schools as of March 7th.
The Monmouth County Commissioner delivered the first ever State of the County yesterday in Freehold. The speech was broadcast live on the county's Facebook page. The Springfield MVC is moving. In the meantime, they're rolling out their mobile unit. Residents who need MVC services can register online for one of 40 available slots next Thursday.
It's cute, that little mobile unit. They just have like a big truck. You can just log on and get your new driver's license, whatever it is that you need.
That's cute.
It's nice. It's a nice little convenience. Let's check in with meteorologist Mike Favetta with your Jersey forecast, and it is all over the place. I do not envy you today.
It is. We had such beautiful weather yesterday. It felt like spring, and now it's a throwback to winter with some very cold weather on the way for the weekend. Snow flurries in the forecast for tomorrow.
Mike, have you seen the memes online? It just occurred to me. I was saying where it's like, the New Jersey weather, and it's like winter, fake spring, real spring. It's like you are here, fake spring.
Sure.
Like
Yeah. My eyes go to the pollening when I see that. when everything is covered in a lovely shade of green.
Yeah.
Later on in, probably about 6 weeks or so. So, yeah, it's going to get pretty interesting around here. But first, we have another round of this cold weather, which comes in after so much warmth yesterday. It felt pretty fantastic here across New Jersey. Not exactly the case this morning with those gusty winds, and now temperatures falling, like free falling through the 30s up in northern New Jersey. We're still holding in the 50s right now across portions of the shore, but not for long. The next few days on the 7-day forecast shows plenty of cold air coming in, taking us into the 30s only as a high for Sunday. So really chilly stuff early in the morning with teens forecast early on, and then 20s early in the morning on President's Day for Monday. By Monday afternoon, our highs climb back to 50, and then we make another run for 60 degrees by the middle of the week. The only issue is with some rain that comes in midweek, it gets a bit wet. However, come Thursday into Friday, colder weather follows, and then about a week from today, we're keeping an eye on what could be another round of wintry mix or some snow that is about 7 days away. It's something to watch, something to keep in the back of your mind, especially if you had plans later on next weekend. This is the last thing we need after so much, kind of unsettled weather this winter so far. Just want to push that fast forward button and move right along into spring, because if we get more of yesterday's weather, that would feel very nice. It was quite pleasant all across the Garden State. Then things changed overnight, so we'll take the good with the bad. Some colder weather ahead for the weekend. So stay warm. Lisa Marie, Kara?
Absolutely. Mike, thank you very much. We always appreciate it.
You bet. See you soon.
Well, I hope next week that we're sitting here together in the studio and we're not from home again because of weather.
Because of weather, yeah.
So let's blow it out to shore.
Yeah, that's it. What planet makes that happen?
I don't know. I have to look it up.
All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us this week. We always appreciate it. And of course, remember, you can follow along on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at NJ Morning Show. We'll keep you up to date who's coming up on next week's show. Check us out. Click follow.